Hi everyone, it's Ingrid, and today I have a super special recipe to share with you guys because we are going to be making tiramisu. But not just any tiramisu, because this recipe was given to me by my boyfriend's mom and it was passed down to her by her mother. So this is a super easy recipe. It requires very basic and simple ingredients, and I was really intimidated to make this because when you hear tiramisu, you're like, oh my gosh, super complicated dessert, but it's really not, and I think this is super delicious. So the ingredients you're gonna need: some sugar, egg yolks, a little bit of cocoa powder and some rum, coffee, ladyfingers, and some mascarpone cheese. We're gonna start off with the eggs and sugar. So I have 4 egg yolks here that have been separated from the whites, and I'm just gonna dump that in the bowl. And then 4 tablespoons of sugar, and that just goes right in there. Now I'm just going to take a hand mixer to blend the sugar and the egg. Now you're going to want to blend this for a little while until it turns into a light creamy yellow color. All right. So this is the color that you're looking for, just a really nice light yellow color. And then you want to add in 2 tablespoons of rum and 2 tablespoons of cocoa. And we're just gonna keep blending. And then you just want to keep a spatula on hand so you can scrape down the sides if you have anything sticking, just to make sure that everything is blended well. Okay. So that looks good. And then the last thing we're gonna add is the mascarpone cheese. And this is an 8-ounce container, so you're gonna want about half of this, so it is 4 ounces. And you're just gonna dump that in. And this makes it nice and creamy. We're gonna continue to blend this, but you don't want to over blend it. Okay, from here, I'm just going to take the spatula and kind of fold it all in, because you wanna keep this airy and fluffy. You don't want it to be overly blended, because then it'll flatten out and you're just gonna end up with like a weird liquid. And I really like this tiramisu recipe because it's decadent and definitely indulgent, but it's lighter and it's just really, really good in comparison to things that you would get at a restaurant that are like drenched in whipped cream. They're super, super sweet and you don't really taste the coffee all the time. I think this is really balanced and I am a huge fan. So now we have our mixture here. So I'm just gonna set that aside. And I'm going to take another bowl and I'm going to pour in our coffee. Now, you don't need an exact amount of coffee, you just need enough to soak your biscuits in. So I'm just going to pour some into the bowl. And you do want like room temperature or chilled coffee because you don't want to burn yourself here. We don't need any accidents in the kitchen. The mixer already tried to kill me. What was that? Okay, so we have our coffee and now we just need the ladyfingers. And you want to go with ladyfingers that are like biscuits, so they're hard and they're not the cakey ones, because when you dunk them in the coffee, they really absorb quickly and they get soggy surprisingly fast. So you want to make sure that you have the crispy ones. So that one is actually broken. So we're gonna go with a whole one here. And I'm gonna dunk it in the coffee. So this one is fully dipped and I'm just gonna start lining the baking dish with these. And you just dunk them in really quickly. I actually experimented when I was making this with my boyfriend's mom. I left one in a little bit longer to see how fast it would get soggy. They get soggy really fast. I really love altering recipes. I really like playing with things, but this is a recipe that I think is perfect the way it is, especially because it's a family recipe, and my boyfriend's family is Italian. So this is an Italian recipe that has been passed down, and I am not gonna mess with it because I think it's absolutely perfect. So there are some things that I don't change. And I think it's really cool when you learn something from your family or from like a boyfriend's family, your friend's family, and you can pass those recipes down when you have your own kids. So my mom was actually here over the holidays and we had this tiramisu, and she loves tiramisu. Tiramisu is probably one of her favorite desserts of all time. And she was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. So I was really excited because I helped make it. And if your baking dish isn't perfect for the ladyfingers, because ladyfingers come in all different sizes, just kind of arrange them. Don't be afraid to put them in a different direction. You really just want to cover the bottom space. And if you have like a little gap on the side, it's not a big deal. You just want most of the space covered. Actually, this is where our broken piece could come in handy, because I think if I just break off a little tiny bit of it, there we go. That took some muscle. I think that will fit perfectly right there. That's awesome. Okay, and this is what your first layer should look like. Then we're just gonna go back to our egg and sugar and cocoa mixture, and I'm gonna take the spatula and just layer it over the top. Just dump a little bit over the top and then spread it out. You can always add more. It's a little bit more difficult to take things away from a recipe. And you wanna make sure that you're not using all of it because you're gonna need some to coat the top as well. We need to cover a little broken piece. I have my first layer of lady fingers and the filling on top of it. So now we can continue with a second layer. And I'm going to need some more lady fingers because I'm running low here. So I have a magical plate of new ones. So I am just going to get my coffee back over here, and I'm going to continue dunking them and just layering them in over the top. All right, and then we just need our last layer, and this is going to be the top. So I'm just gonna use my spatula to scrape the edge of the bowl to make sure I'm getting everything out. And I'm just gonna pour it over the top like that and do the exact same thing that we did with the first layer. Then you just want to grab some foil, put it over the top, and stick it in the fridge for at least 4 hours, but you can also leave it in the fridge overnight to really let the coffee soak in. My tiramisu is in the fridge, but I made one last night, so I have a magical slice here for you guys with a little bit of strawberry. And now all that we have to do is dust it with some cocoa. So I have a sifter here, just a dash of cocoa, and I'm just gonna dump this in and then shake it out like that. Yay! It looks so pretty! All right, let's dig in to this tiramisu. So good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tiramisu recipe. If you try it out yourself, I would love to see your photos. So be sure to send them in on Twitter and Instagram. And also make sure you subscribe to Popsugar Girls Guide for more of my cooking recipes. I'll see you guys later. Bye.